Hello guys and welcome back to Let's Redesign a Simrig. Today we will be looking at the mounts for the steering wheel and the pedals. So as you might remember in the episodes before, we have changed this lower frame from a width of 650 millimeters to a width of 750 millimeters. The goal was to make enough room for this big mounting bracket for both the shifter and the handbrake. Of course, making the whole thing 15 centimeters wider now will make it necessary to also make those mounts wider. So for example, you can see here, this is the current solution I have for the pedal mount, and this is too small, so it doesn't reach over here. So this will need a redesign. And then also, if you look here, this is also this 600 millimeter width, so this is also too small. Additionally, those two beams I used here are now used for this middle part. So I have moved those here, and I will now have to use basically the beams which were in the middle there for the new verticals. Yeah, those two 600 millimeter beams are over here currently. I will just grab those and put them a little bit closer so they are a bit bigger for you to see. And then we will turn them around so they are actually standing upright as well. Then I will just turn them around that way, and because they have to face each other, one of them will be turned this way too. Now I will just grab the first one and start moving it into place. At first I will just move it on that surface so it has the right level in the direction, which goes into the screen here. And now I moved it up so it sits on top here. And I want to do the same with this one. And actually, now thinking about it, there is one easier way. I can just grab this endpoint and I can put the endpoint on that edge. So this will do both things. It will make the correct alignment in this direction, left to right, and in the correct level up, down. Now, of course, they are not on the same level in that direction, but that is also easily changed. Just grab, for example, this endpoint and put it there, and that's done. Now for the next bit, I grab both of those beams here in the middle, and no, I don't want to turn them around, I just want to move them, and I will move them in the exact height here in the middle of this line. So now we can assemble those two beams to this lower frame, and for that we can already use those brackets, which were also used for the same purpose before. I'll just put them on here and then align them in the center up here. And that's already done. And now that I'm looking here, I can also think about putting those brackets, those end caps on. Let's try and grab that edge and put that edge on that edge. Why is it not doing it? Come on. Yes, like that. So basically I aligned this lower end of that line to the upper end of that line. And I will just do the same thing on the other side, if it lets me again. Grab that. And now you can see it doesn't want me to put it there. Yeah, zoomed in a bit, now it worked. And also here we have those two brackets which have to go there basically, and then again a little bit to the outside. So now they sit on there. And one thing I usually like to do is to make sort of sub-assemblies out of things like that, because these three things down here, so this bracket, this beam, and this bracket will always move together because they are screwed together here. And also this upper cap is also in the same spot. And for example, if you do this a little bit differently and you build this from scratch, then you can also say, okay, now I have made one of those beams, and then I'll just do that. You don't have it here yet. So you can just use this thing, copy it, paste it, and you will have exactly the same part where you can easily make symmetrical pieces. So now you could use the same mount somewhere else if it's more of a general use thing. And yeah, this makes your life a lot easier. If you think about this a little bit, what makes sense to have as a subassembly. Like for example, the next thing we will have to grab now is the beam which goes from this one to this one and which will hold the wheel in place, which is also this one, which is a subassembly already. So it's a group. In Sketchup, there's no assembly, subassembly. In Sketchup, it's always just called group. Here, this is a little bit special. Let's just open this entity info. Now you can see this group is there twice. So we have it here and we have it here. So we have to be a bit careful about this. This actually has some components. So this is a component where we also have two. So if I would go ahead and just change this component, let's just do this to show you like that. You can see it also changed in the other part of the model. And that's something you often don't want. So you have to pay a little bit attention to that. So now when I go out, I see, okay, this is a model, it's there twice. So if I want to change it here and keep it the same the other place, I have to make it unique. So just right click, make it unique, and then you can change it. As I said before, we changed the width of the frame from 600 millimeters to 750. So that's 150 change. And here we have to change it by the same amount. So this will have to be 748 millimeters. Now that it's a solid component which we have only once, I can just go ahead, go in there and actually change this. Here I can type in again 150, press enter, and then the length has changed. Now I grab those two and I will also put those on here. And now I could, for example, also do the thing and say, yeah, move it 150 out. No, wrong direction. Other direction. Now I have to move it 300. Bam. So this has the same effect basically. I can tell it, yeah, move 150, or I can use this drag to function. Yeah, now this is also done, and I will just put it in between. Now I have selected this corner here and I drag it on that edge so it's aligned in that direction well. And then I grab this on top and move it underneath the wheel. Because in the beginning of the whole redesign part, I just copied this whole cockpit over here. So the measurements between the wheel, the pedals, and the seat, for example, are already exactly where I want them to be, where I need them to be. So I will always just try to move the mounts towards the parts and not the other way around. I will just try to leave all the parts there where they are as good as I can. even though I, for example, won't be able to do it here, because this is just intersecting, and when you put this shifter in the left forward position here, it will collide. So this is something I will have to move, but I'm not yet sure exactly where I want to move it, so I just leave it there for now. Yes, so this was the part on that, and now I will also make a subassembly of that one. So make a group, and we're done with the mount for the steering wheel. As I said, I also wanted to do the mount for the pedals, and we're good in time, so I will at least be able to start it. And here, as you can see, this is a little bit of a, suboptimal solution, because at first my plan was to put this 8 centimeters above the frame height. So I had just those two beams here, which are 80 by 80. And then when I used it for a while, I realized that it would be nicer to have it 40 millimeters more up. So I added this 40 profile here, and I added a 40 millimeter profile there. But yeah, this just adds extra parts and extra complexity, and yeah, chances to mess up during the assembly when you don't exactly hit the right place, or when it's not exactly straight or not exactly 90 degrees. So I want to get rid of that. To get rid of that, I am thinking, since I will already have to order this beam to change the cockpit, I will just order more of this beam, and I will use the same dimension for here. So this is this 80 by 120, and I will use 80 by 120 here, even though maybe you could do a more lightweight solution if you would combine different heights and different dimensions, but I will just get one big beam, or rather two big beams, so I'm on the safe side when it concerns stability, and I won't add too many different components. But yeah, enough explanation. Let's just go ahead and do it. Since I don't have those types of beam in my model anywhere, I will use this template again, and I will just copy it there. Now I want this basically to span from that edge here all the way over there. So I can just quickly measure how long this has to be. It has to be 830 millimeters. Now I have to make a beam that's 830. So I will make a component here. I will give it the correct name so I can identify it. And then I can change the actual dimension. This has to be extended by 780. And then you can quickly check if you did it right by clicking one line, and you will see this line, or this edge rather, has a length of 830 now. So that's correct. That's the 830. Now I want to put end caps on there. So I do this right now. Grab this here. Then I grab it there, copy it, go to the other end and put it on there. And I can already basically make this a group, because I will need it twice. Copy it, paste it, and here we have it. Let's put this exactly on the edge. And then I don't want to turn it, I want to move it that way 40 millimeters, because the gap in between here is exactly, as you can see, 40. Because everything is held in place by this thing here, and then the distance between those slots here is basically not possible to mount in a different way on the profiles than having, this distance from here to here, 160. And I think there is one kind of profile which has this width, but that's then only 20 millimeters thick or something, so that doesn't really work. And that's why I decided to go with that. Yeah, so now let's put those mounting brackets on here. So I just place one, then turn it around, move it onto the part. Which way around? Yeah, I'll just put it on this side first, and then I can copy it to the other side later. Make sure it's aligned perfectly. So now this can go over there, and I want to turn this because, yeah, I kind of don't like having this asymmetric design. So I will make it as symmetric as possible. As symmetric, not asymmetrically as possible. So yeah, now I put it here. I will have to make some more detailed alignments when I put it on. But for now it's okay. Put this on here, and then I will turn this around like that. Same height there, and on that surface. So that's basically the mount with those two beams. And I want to put those plates on there again, but this time I want to put those plates on the lower side, basically. I don't want to have them on top, I want to have them sit underneath. Grab this here, and I will put it directly underneath it. And now I will have to do some aligning magic. So I will go in here, grab the center of the hole, and I will put this center of the hole on the center of the slot here. So then it will sit perfectly underneath those slots. Now I just grab one of those and I go, first I put this on the edge here, and then I put it in by, let's say 60. So we will have this 40 millimeter frame there, and then a little bit of a gap, and then this bracket. Here I do the same. Put it on there, and then move it in by 60. So this is basically now this bracket completed, or this pedal mounting beam solution version 2. Short and simple name. Make a group out of this. Now I can turn this again, and I will just move it in here so you can see basically what I'm going for. Grab this probably and put it on there probably. And probably this looks nice, probably. So now here you can see how those brackets are not perfectly centered. So I can just go in here, select both of those. Yeah, and you can see this doesn't really align. Grab that edge, put them on there. Grab these two. No. Grab these. Like that. Put them in the middle here. And here I will basically do the same. Grab those two. And put them on the middle there. Yeah, so now you can basically imagine what this should be looking like. And I could just go ahead and go in here and basically move this away. Let me explode this, and then I can move this away. And I do it by 500. So I can easily move it back under there if I want to compare solutions, for example. Yeah, but this would then be how the new pedal mounting solution could look like. Let's just wrap it up for now. This would be one possible solution to mount the steering wheel and the pedals. Thank you for sticking around this long. I know this was a bit of a longer video again, but if you liked it anyways, then leave me a like. And if you didn't like it, then please leave me a comment on what to improve. In any case, if you are interested in seeing more of this, then you are welcome to, and you should hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you will be notified when the next video comes out. And then I'll see you then. Bye.